everybody, welcome to the slime room. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a fun unicorn slime. So let's get started. First ingredient is some Hobbycraft school PVA glue. This comes in 2.5 litres, so this is why I get it. So we're just going to chuck some of that in. I'm just gonna say a bit like maybe that much, because we're just doing a small slime because we might be adding clay. So now we're just gonna, stir that in. Okay. Now we're gonna add some Elmer's Magical Liquid. This magical liquid activates the slime so it becomes a slime. So this is it. Okay. So let's just put some of that in. I'm going to start with that for now, because halfway through the activating, we're going to add some scent and dye. Instead, I'm going to activate it fully. And then I'm going to add the clay in at the end, and the dye and the food colouring. Okay, you can see it's forming now because it's the magical liquid is bringing it together. But you don't want to add too much because you might over-activate it or under-activate it if you add like not enough. So just keep stirring that in, and now I think I'm going to add a bit more because it's still a bit watery and it will get stuck to your hands. I would say before every time you play with slime or go to make slime, wash your hands under some cold water, since like it helps the slime not get stuck to your hands as much, because with hot hands the slime melts on your hands and it will get stuck. So yes, cold water is the key. You can see it's really forming now. Once it's less sticky, you can pick it up with your hands, but for now I'm not, and I'm just going to add a bit more activator. Perfect. Okay, now we're just going to stir that in. I'm going for a unicorn slime for now because this slime will make it all fun and it'll just be all pretty and magical. So yes. You can see it's starting to get really sticky now. I'm just going to go with my hands since it will, look, you can see it's still sticky. Okay, right, that's fine. Let's just mix it in with our hands a bit. If the bowl keeps moving, I'm sorry, because every time I pick up the slime, it will move the bowl a bit. So, sorry about that. Oh, look, you can see it's getting stuck to my fingers. So I'm going to add another few drops of activator. I usually do it a little at a time, because if you add a bulk of it at once, then you might over-activate it and then your slime will be ruined. But if you accidentally do over-activate your slime, then add some lotion. It might help, but you might just have to start over. Lotion does help. You can see it's forming slime now. So that's looking good. Okay, right. Now, I'm just going to try and collect it all together. And then hopefully we'll be able to put it onto the mat. Okay, I'd say it's okay now, so we can put it on the mat and we can take this bowl away. Okay, so the slime's looking good. I would say it's sticky, but I think it's okay because when we add the scents and stuff, it will just blend in nicely. So now I'm just going to go in with some strawberry scent to make it smell nice. I'm just going to put maybe 4 drops of that in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go on then, an extra 5 to just make it extra strong. Okay. Now we're just going to mix that in so it gets throughout the whole slime and not just in one section. Okay, right. There you go. Right, so now I can feel mine's coming over a bit over-activated because now I've got it out and I've been playing with it. It feels a little bit over-activated. So now I'm going to add some lotion because mine feels a little bit too rough. So about this much lotion, and I'm just going to put that into the slime and it will become smoother. I can already feel it's softening out the slime. So if you want a soft, nice slime, I would go in and add some activator. I mean, lotion, sorry. And then, there we go, that feels so much better. So now we're going to separate it into 3 because, oh, actually, I think we should add some clay first. I get this clay off Amazon. You get quite a bit of it for £15. You get a lot of that, actually. So you get about, I don't know, like 6 of these bags. So it's good to go check that out. I'll tell you about that at the end. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some clay. And this clay is very good to make because if you get, I usually get air dried clay because air dried clay is better than all the other clays because all the other clays will dry too quickly. And if it dries, it'll dry out the slime. So this air dry clay does not dry out the slime because when it gets mixed in, it just doesn't dry at all. So this slime will last a while. I prefer to put clay in because it doesn't melt as easily. So, but if you don't want to put any clay in, that is perfectly fine as well. Okay, now I've put that clay in. I'm going to go in with some dye. But before we do that, I'm going to separate it into 3 because I'm going to do 3 different colours, I think. So, oh, there's something on my hand. Sorry about that. Right, so we're going to go maybe 1. Try and separate them evenly so we have the same amount. I'd say that's about right. Is that all right? Yeah, okay, so we're going to move these 2 to the side for now. And we only have a little bit here, but that's fine. So now we're just going to go in with some pink dye. I usually just use some paint because this paint just is like perfectly fine. Doesn't do anything to like dye the worktop and you can just take it off really quickly. So I'm going to get about this much of it in there and I'm going to pour that into thing, and I don't want that much actually, so I'm going to pour some back in and I'm just going to wipe that off onto my slime. I'm going for a bit of a darker pink and then maybe I could go in with a lighter pink next time. Okay, perfect. Right, I'm just going to place that there. Now we're going to mix this in. Try and be careful to not get it on your hands, but if you get it on your hands, it's fine. You can just wash it off. Now we have a very pretty light pink for a unicorn colour. I was going for a dark pink, but it's went a bit lighter, but I decided I love this pink now. But this has, my slime has melted a little bit too much now, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit, like literally 2 drops of activator, and this will just help it. There we go, you can see it's better and not sticking as much to my hands now, where look, if I leave it, then it can come off and come off and come off. But if I leave it too much and it gets all stuck in between your fingers, just get a bit more of an activated slime and it will hopefully help. Okay, so now I've finished my pink, I'm going to chuck that aside and I'm going to go in back in with my white. This white is very nice, but I'm going to go in with a different colour now. So I think I'm going to go in with maybe a purple. So I'm going to use this purple. I know these two are joined together, but that's fine. We can just open one. Okay, this purple has been used a bit more, but we think we'll have enough for this slime. Perfect. Now we're going to move these to the side. And let's get mixing. See, look, I've got a bit of my finger, but it'll be fine, it'll wash off. And I've got a bit on here. But all you need to do is get a wipe or get a bit of water and a cloth and just wipe it off. And it'll come off straight away, hopefully. But I'll just wipe that up for now. Now the colour, you can see the colours forming into a nice light purple, which is more like pastel-y. I think I'm going for the pastel-y theme now. So this colour is very nice. And I'm going to go in with the pink now. I'm going to go in with the blue now. Look, I've got a bit of hard slime in here because this slime is where a bit of the clay is dried out before I put the slime in. So if this happens, all you need to do is just take this bit out and throw it in the bin, because this won't happen to the rest. It's only happened to this because it dried in the package. So now I'm going to go in with a nice blue. This blue is very, it's more of a greeny teal. So like a greeny, tealy sort of colour. So I'm just going to pour a bit more back in there because I added a bit too much. So I'd say that's enough. And I'm going to stir that together now. Once I've done this slime, you can write in the comments what slime you think I should do next, because I need some ideas. This colour is more of a teal than a blue, or greeny teal. So this is really nice. My favourite colour is pink because I feel like it just like, I don't know, I really like the colour pink. Tell me what colour you like in the comments. So I've finished this one, and this one. So these colours all go together like a unicorny colour. So now I think I'm going to go in with some decorations to top it off and finish it. So I'm gonna, these are the charms I'm using. If you can hear my cat in the background, she's just meowing for my mum. So these are the charms I'm using. 2 seconds, guys, I will be back. Okay, so now I've got my charms and beads. I'm just gonna separate these and separate them into each one. So these, I've already got a few in there. Few in there. Few in there. And there we go. There's not as many in that last one, so I'm just gonna pop open this bag because, oh god, that's a stiff bag. Come out, unicorn. There we go. Perfect. Came out. So I'm just gonna add a few extra in these ones. And so now I'm just gonna stir that in. I know there's not a lot, but it will make a difference with the texture because you can feel beads in there and it feels so nice. So when I stretch it out, you'll be able to see some beads just in there. Can you see them there? It just feels a lot nicer. So I'll do that with the rest now. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to go in with some sprinkles, because sprinkles usually make it a lot more colourful, but I'm going to do them at the end since they can go on top of the pot. So now I'm going to go in with this pot. I get these in bulks of, I think, 24 for £3 of Shein. Shein is really good pots because they're airtight and they don't let the slime dry out. Okay, so I'm going to get half, and these guys are just going to go over here, and then they can go on the top if there's space. So I'm going to put all these together, and then you can swirl them. So when you get them all together, then you can just swirl them together, and you can see all the colours coming together as a unicorn. So now we can put that in there and massage it down all into the edges, so there's no space in there. So you can see that that's all nicely in there. So now we're going to get our second box of slime, and we're going to mix these ones in together and put that on the top. Put that all down, and that nicely fits. You don't want it overflowing the top, because when it overflows it will dry out. So this is a perfect amount of slime. So now we're going to go in with some rainbow sprinkles so it can make it more colourful. Perfect. Maybe a little bit more. It doesn't matter, I'll just clean that up after these few. So now I'm just going to stick my unicorn on. And this is a finished slime. This is my unicorn slime with blue, pink and purple colours. I've got some rainbow sprinkles and a charm. So that slime is all done. Catch you at the next one, guys. Bye.